In today's video, we're looking at Marc Lichtenfeld's new stock teaser where he claims a sub $20 stock will make all chips obsolete. He even claims this stock could mirror Tesla's incredible run of more than 20,000%. I reveal the stock being pitched here so you don't have to buy Marc's newsletter. No paid or proprietary info is given away here, and it's all guesswork based on clues in a publicly available sales presentation. Before we do anything, let's check out Marc's recent track record. He recommended Stag Industrial back in November 2020. And this stock has been up and down but is up slightly overall, while paying out a nice dividend. In February 2024, Marc recommended two energy stocks and the first was Cord Energy. This stock has done poorly. The second stock was Permian Basin Trust and it's up a little while paying a dividend. In January 2025, he recommended two stocks, and the first was Enterprise Products Partners, and it's basically break even. The second was Wheaton Precious Metals, and this stock has done really well in the last 8 months and is up 80%. Let's shift back to the new teaser, which is all about quantum. The promotional text claims that Google's quantum computer solved a problem in 200 seconds that would take a regular supercomputer 10,000 years. This happened in 2019 when Google, working with NASA, achieved what they called quantum supremacy using their 53-qubit Sycamore processor. NASA officially confirmed it. The numbers check out. However, Marc is overstating the importance of this event. Eleanor Riefel from NASA put it perfectly. This was one thing faster, not everything faster, and that one thing isn't terribly useful. Now let's talk money. The pitch claims McKinsey predicts quantum computing will create $2 trillion in value by 2035. This one's tricky because it's technically accurate but massively misleading. I found the actual McKinsey report, and yes, they do predict $2 trillion in value. But here's the catch. That $2 trillion isn't the size of the quantum computing market. It's the economic value that quantum computing could create across 4 industries: chemicals, life sciences, finance, and mobility. The actual quantum computing market, McKinsey says 28 to 72 billion by 2035. That's still huge, but it's very different from what the pitch implies. This is classic marketing sleight of hand, technically true but designed to mislead. Also, the entire pitch centers around something called TF3 technology. They make it sound like some secret breakthrough that will revolutionize computing. TF3 is just marketing jargon for something called thin film lithium niobate, or TFLN. TFLN is absolutely real and genuinely promising. It's a material that can manipulate light particles for quantum computing applications. There are legitimate research papers from Harvard, papers in Science Advances, Nature Communications. This is real science. But here's the problem. The promotional material takes this early-stage research technology and presents it as if it's a ready-to-deploy revolution. They're essentially taking a promising lab experiment and selling it as the next iPhone. The reality? TFLN quantum applications are still largely in research phases. Could they be important in 5 to 10 years? Absolutely. Are they going to make classical computers obsolete next year? Number. Let's look at the specific clues for the stock now. Marc says, right now there is only one commercial foundry in the United States dedicated to producing TF3-based chips for the next generation of quantum computers. And Marc says this foundry is in Tempe, Arizona. Then he says, while every other company was trying to build better quantum computers, this small firm made a decision so brilliant, it changed everything. They realized something that the biggest companies in the world completely missed. In every technology revolution, the real money isn't made by the companies that use the technology. It's made by the companies that control the basic components everyone else desperately needs. Marc then says, our visionary company saw this massive blind spot and acted decisively. They're producing the very TF3 material that makes light-based quantum computers possible. They assembled a team of the world's leading materials scientists. They licensed cutting-edge manufacturing processes developed by leading university academics. They invested hundreds of millions of dollars in specialized equipment. And most importantly, on May 12, 2025, they opened America's first commercial TF3 foundry in Tempe, Arizona, dedicated to the production of these chips for quantum computers. And finally, Marc says, and the results prove their brilliance. A major aerospace contractor placed the first commercial order in December 2024. A leading Canadian quantum computing firm also made a purchase order. NASA has awarded them multiple contracts. Tech partnerships with industry leaders prove their technologies works. But here's what really shows their strategic brilliance. While tech giants spend billions on quantum computers that might work someday, this company already generates revenue from proven quantum computing systems serving elite customers right now. And with their new TF3 foundry operational, they're positioned to potentially generate millions more as production scales up. I'm going to reveal the stock in 15 seconds, but before I do that, I want to remind you to sign up for my free report on the top 10 stocks to buy and hold forever. This report comes with no gimmicks, no get-rich-quick nonsense, just solid long-term investments you can actually feel confident owning. Click the link in the description to get your copy right now. The stock being pitched here is Quantum Computing Inc., ticker QUBT. Quantum Computing is a US-based company developing room-temperature quantum solutions designed to bring advanced computing into practical enterprise use. Its core technology is built around photonics-based quantum systems and thin-film lithium niobate chips, which allow operations without the extreme cooling requirements of many rival platforms. The company focuses on markets such as high-performance optimization, artificial intelligence acceleration, cybersecurity, and remote sensing, positioning its technology to address some of the most complex computational and security challenges. Supporting this effort is its Tempe, Arizona foundry, which enables in-house design and fabrication of photonic components critical to its systems. Quantum Computing Inc. takes a differentiated technology approach with its Entropy quantum computing platform, which uses a photonic-centric design that uniquely turns loss and decoherence into useful computational resources. Unlike many competing systems, it operates at room temperature and requires no cryogenic cooling, making it far more practical for enterprise deployment. The architecture supports all-to-all connectivity, optimized for tackling discrete and non-convex problems that are traditionally difficult to solve with classical methods. With significant swap-C advantages, delivering a superior size, weight, power, and cost profile, the system is designed to be efficient and scalable. Just as importantly, it is integration-ready, with standard data center I/O compatibility that allows enterprises to seamlessly adopt the technology into existing IT environments. In 2025, Quantum Computing Inc. began building commercial momentum with several important milestones. In the second quarter, the company achieved a breakthrough in the automotive sector by securing its first commercial deployment of the EmuCore system with a major global automaker. Shortly after, in July, it received a purchase order from a top 5 US bank to apply its quantum cybersecurity solutions, signaling traction in the financial services industry. On the research front, the company continued expanding its global partnerships, including a QPV order from TU Delft and the delivery of a photon source to a leading South Korean institute. In addition, NASA awarded a $406,000 subcontract to explore applications of the Dirac-3 system for LIDAR denoising, highlighting interest in aerospace and government use cases. To cap off the quarter, Quantum Computing Inc. was added to the Russell 3000 and 2000 indexes, effective June 30, 2025, further validating its growing presence in the market. Quantum Computing's Q2 2025 financial results, reported on August 14th, reflect a company still in the early stages of commercialization, but with a strong balance sheet to support future growth. The quarter delivered $61,000 in revenue with a 43% gross margin, underscoring the limited scale of operations but also showing that its products can generate positive margins. Operating expenses came in at $10.2 million, largely driven by continued investment in research and development to advance its technology and expand commercial applications. On the balance sheet, the company reported a cash position of $349 million, bolstered by a $188 million private placement during the quarter. With shareholders' equity totaling $396 million, Quantum Computing Inc. has built a solid financial foundation to fund its strategic initiatives and pursue long-term growth opportunities. Quantum Computing Inc. positions itself to address a wide range of high-value applications across industries where traditional computing struggles. In optimization, its systems target complex combinatorial problems, including Ising-type formulations, that are difficult for classical approaches to solve efficiently. In artificial intelligence, the company leverages reservoir computing and edge intelligence to accelerate machine learning and time series analysis. Its cybersecurity offerings focus on delivering quantum-grade protection and secure communications, critical for sectors like banking and government. The company is also active in sensing and imaging, applying its technology to remote sensing and advanced detection systems. These opportunities are supported by 3 primary revenue streams: quantum machines such as the Dirac series systems and EmuCore devices with related services, photonic components like quantum random number generators, entanglement sources, and frequency converters, and foundry services, where it designs and fabricates thin-film lithium niobate photonic integrated circuits, PICs, for datacom, telecom, and quantum applications. For investors, quantum computing presents both significant opportunities and notable risks. One of the primary challenges lies in execution, as the company must transition from pilot programs to scalable commercial deployments across industries like automotive, banking, and aerospace. Like many deep tech ventures, it also faces ongoing capital requirements, making continued financing an important factor to watch. Another key consideration is technology validation. Demonstrating clear performance advantages over both classical computing and competing quantum approaches will be critical to broader adoption. On the growth side, several catalysts are emerging. These include ramping utilization of its Tempe foundry for thin-film lithium niobate production, expansion of customer relationships into multi-unit deployments, and increased orders for its photonic components and EmuCore devices. A potential revenue inflection point could come as these efforts scale, driving quarterly growth acceleration. Investors should closely monitor published research, customer adoption, and comparative performance benchmarks as indicators of the company's path toward commercial viability. So, what do I think about the stock? Last week I covered IonQ, which is another one of the more popular names in the quantum computing space. I'm not going to repeat everything I said there, but here's the short version. Quantum computing is still very far from being commercially viable. Real adoption is probably at least a decade away, maybe even longer. This is a sector that tends to move on hype and headlines rather than fundamentals. For example, when Nvidia's CEO said quantum was still decades away, nearly all of the quantum stocks crashed. But once he walked those comments back, the same stocks shot right back up. That shows you how sentiment driven this space really is. Because of that, I personally will never recommend companies like this on my channel. The risk is just too high, and my goal here is to educate, not to give people dangerous investing ideas. But at the same time, I know some viewers will inevitably make investment decisions based on what I say, so I want to be clear about where I stand. That said, I do think quantum computing is a fascinating field, and I'd encourage anyone who's interested to dig deeper into the science and the technology behind it. I have to cover a wide range of sectors on this channel, so I can't dive into quantum at the level of an expert. If you do know a lot about the industry, or if you have a strong opinion on this company in particular, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your perspective, whether you're bullish, bearish, or somewhere in between. Don't forget to grab my free report on the top 10 stocks to buy and hold forever by clicking the link in the description. And if you're interested in quantum stocks, click below. Keith Cole claims to know one that will gain tens of thousands.